Me Find Him podcast. I'm your host, Misha Renee. And as you can see, Drea is not with me today, but I do have a lovely co-host with me today. Her name is Kayla, also known as Bomb_Blasian, two N's, on TikTok. I'll let her introduce herself a little bit.
Hi, y'all. My name's Kayla. Misha had me come on because I had this viral TikTok video, and that's why I'm here.
Yes, and what I really love about Kayla's TikTok that I'll say like what really made me want to ask her to come on the show was Kayla really like just shows her life. Like she shows her lifestyle. The viral video that she had on TikTok was about her 4 different lives, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later today, and we'll show a small clip of it. But even from that video where she just shows the multiple things she can do, her TikTok is fun, it's on trend, it's always like just kind of mixed in with like all the TikTok craziness that, in all honesty, I feel like I'm mixed in with, and probably the reason why Help Me Find Him is even a thing today. So it only made sense to add Kayla. Plus, Kayla and me know each other from a very, very long time. I would say maybe since we were like in high school.
So. Not high school, middle school.
Was it middle
like
school?
Like kids. My cousins have always been in Evanescence. So,
true.
Always been around you.
I didn't think about that. So yeah, so it was honestly like organic and just it made sense. I'm like, Kayla, I went viral before, you went viral before, your TikTok's popping, I like the trends you follow, I need you on the show so we can talk some shit.
Period. And that's what we're going to do today.
And that's what we're going to do today. So you know how we usually start off? We usually start off with our TikTok review. Today's TikTok review is by a girl. Her name is Bella_Bars, 2 Z's. So we follow in 2 letters today with everything.
Yeah, 2 letters.
But Bella Bars, she did a video, and it was basically talking about how she was so thankful that she didn't sleep with this guy during the talking stage. And she just kind of goes on and mentions, like, you know, she didn't sleep with him and he acted a fool and she saved herself from a body. And honestly, like, kind of just like your normal girl conversation, I would say, like how you talk to your girls.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Kayla?
Me personally, I can agree with what she said a little bit because you don't want to have a high body count, I guess, or just seem like an accessible woman to every man. But it kind of gave off a little pick-me to me a little bit towards the end where she's like, because I don't want to be that girl that we're grown. We're pushing 30.
I agree.
Okay? You're going to have bodies. And if you're staying in the same area, there's going to be other people that know who you've been with.
I agree.
Who you've dated. That's just inevitable, and that's just going to happen. So
I agree. And from there, honestly, because I want you guys to be able to form your own opinion as well before we go in depth on it, I'm going to let us run the tape, and we're going to come back and talk about it even more in depth and just dive deep into that pick-me culture. I feel like that, you know, she kind of...
A lot of women are.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to come for her. One thing I will say, Bella Bars, you're beautiful, and I really do understand and respect your insight. I think it was just a little part that wasn't sitting right with me, so we're going to come back and talk about it.
Yeah.
So recently, I had stopped talking to this dude, right? And the first thing that came into my mind, I was just like, whoo, thank God I didn't give him no pussy. Thank God he didn't get no pussy, Lord. Thank God. You know, and I felt really relieved. And I say that to say this. Just because a man is your boyfriend or you talking to him, don't mean you automatically got to give it up. Like, don't. Number one, I do this, because I don't want no high-ass. Because I've always been a type where I don't want no high-ass body count. Like, I don't want to be that girl that dudes be like, yeah, she's mad pretty, but, like, the whole hood had her. Like, you know, had me what? No, like, I am the prize. Like, I want when my dude get with me is like, yo, like, damn, it was so hard to get her, and I feel good because none of my homies said either. You know what I'm saying? So, I've always been that way, but on some real, we living in a world where dudes be on a DL. Everybody got a sneaky link, stuff like that. I just always feel like these dudes don't be clean. I don't want nobody messing up my pH balance. Like, I feel like before I even really give it up, like, we got to be locked in. Like, if I don't feel like we really locked in, I'm not going to do it. And I never regret it. I always feel good. Like, I always think to myself, imagine if I gave it to this corny ass dude. Like, he's such a goofy. And dudes be pretending. You be thinking you with a whole real ass dude. And then you get with them and it's like, ew, you a clown. I gave it up to a clown. Ew. You don't want to be that girl. Like,
Well, all right. So we watched the video. I'm gonna start. with what I think. So personally, I feel like was she on point with some things? I do feel like during the talking stage, it is really hard to like connect with somebody while you're having sex unless that person is very emotionally mature, because I think what comes into play is a lot of what society has us thinking, like, oh, you gave it up so quick, or then you have sex so quick that that's all that person can wrap their mind around. You know what I mean? All the cute stuff ends, all the fun dates and shit like that ends, and it's just like, you coming over. Yes. But like we also said, I don't agree with the pick-me nature of it. But I will say, like, what do you think about the fact that, like, how do you feel about the whole dating situation? Like, could you go from talking stage and sleeping with somebody, or do you think it's best to not sleep with somebody during the talking stage?
Honestly, I feel like I've been both sides before. Obviously, I've dated. I'm gonna be 28 in less than a month, so you know, you experience both ends of it. Personally, me, I do like to talk to someone for a while before sleeping with them. Gotcha. However, has a one night stand not happened? Yes. 9 times out of 10, though, my one night stands ended up in a relationship.
Okay. What does that tell you?
That people should have more one night stands. Like, no.
But shit.
You know, like, I don't think that people should be judged for that anymore. Yeah. And I think that people are kind of straying away from that anyways in our generation. People are like, people gonna sleep on the first date. So many guys are like, I have guy friends too that are like, you know, being with someone on the first night or the first week, it really doesn't matter. And someone could ghost you and dog you, and you made them wait 3 months. Regardless, you could have found out, you know, sooner if you had just done it the first night. Then you'd see what he really was. But now you waited 3 months to give it to him, and now he ghosts you.
I agree with that. I have to say, and I 100% agree with the part you said, that it really doesn't matter, because somebody can show up and be a fuckboy in the beginning or show up and be a fuckboy at the end. Mm-hmm. I one time had somebody kind of like, now it wasn't like a consistent dating situation, but it was like on and off, and it went along for around a year, and then we finally had sex. And you know that nigga still, I mean, he ended up being something very special to me, but that nigga still played. And I've had sex on one night, and that person, me, had an amazing time, had an amazing couple months. They're not still here, but you know what? For the time being, they came back. And it was fun.
And you had a time.
And we had a time. But like, you just never know. And I 100% agree with that. Like, I think the part that I respect is she's 100% right when it comes to kind of just waiting it out, because like Maya Angelou said that a long time ago, like, you need to, like, basically, how does she put it? Believe who people say they are. Or I'm sorry, believe who people show you they are and not who they say they are. Right. So, like, if somebody is showing you throughout the talking stage, like, that they're worthy of your love, that they're worthy of what you can offer to them, then that makes sense. Like, okay, like, let me take my time, let me get to know more about them, because you might see some red flags and you might be like, And by all means, save yourself a body, because who wants a useless body? Especially if it's not good.
Oh, my.
If it's not good, now that's another conversation. But at the same time, you know, when we go into that pick-me culture, which I think we want to dig into as well, it kind of... So it's like I have a mad respect for the video, but then at the same time, I don't love it's that we kind of got into this part of like, oh, because you don't want everybody to say they've been able to have you, and you don't want, like, I don't give a fuck what anybody got to say.
That part. And I feel like it's kind of belittling, like, our generation, women are working on women empowerment. Like, who cares? My business is what my business is. As long as my pH balance is on point, my health is all right. I go to my OB-GYN regularly. I know that I am safe and I'm being responsible. Why is it your business?
We got to cheers to that. That's that shit right there. That's some shit that I would say. That's how I feel about it 100%. Because when it comes down to it, you're sitting there worried about the wrong things. What that man say? You think it's small. You need to think big, bitch. You need to be thinking bigger, bitch.
You need to be thinking big.
Because the big picture is, if you're worried about body count, if you're worried about how many people have actually touched your woman, or how many people can actually say that they've had a sexual intercourse with your woman, they're worried about the wrong things. You need to be worried about the woman you're sleeping with. How many times has she been checked? How often does she get checked? You should be making sure that you're not having sexual intercourse with her, and basically you don't even know, like, where she's been, or, you know, if she's using protection. Like, you need to make sure you're protecting yourself at all times. Worry about the right things. Don't worry about the wrong things. The wrong things are like, oh, how many people have touched her? You can meet one girl who might have had maybe only like 3. What did J. Cole say? You got to multiply that by 3. So we'll go with 3. You can meet a girl that only has 3 bodies. And then you can meet a girl who has maybe 10. And the girl who has 10 might have gotten checked maybe, I don't know, once every year, once every 6 months if she's really smart. She's on point with it. And the one who has only maybe 3 feels like she trusted all the men that she's been with.
Because it was only 3.
Because it was only 3.
Oh, it's 3. Yeah.
And she don't feel the need to do nothing about it. And guess what? The one who has 3 could be the one who's carrying
XYZ.
Thank you. So it really doesn't make a difference. It's neither here nor there. Vaginas, by the way, too, because I know some of you are going to be like, oh, the wide set vaginas, these bitches' vagina walls be going. The walls and the penis, amount of penises that go in them have nothing to do with it. A lot of you are not big dick niggas. I'm just going to say it.
Ooh,
I'm going to say it. A lot of your dicks are not fucking up the walls of anybody's vagina, okay? If anything, your dicks are hitting the middle the way it needs to, but to be that arrogant that you think that your dick can change the shape of a vagina, you got to be a different type of confidence, cocky type of nigga. But
facts. Very much facts.
But yeah, that's the only thing I really didn't like about her video. I think for me, like, and this is the first time I actually ever said that, like, I didn't like somebody's video. Usually with videos, I'm like in love with them, but I think when it got to the part where it was like about the body count, and it just felt like it was for the male gaze.
Yeah, it felt like it was just like typical one of those videos women put out, and like all the men eat it up, and they're like, yeah, this is the standard, like, you know, when men were saying Aisha Curry or, you know, whoever, like, you need to be like this person. No one needs to be like anybody. I'm me, and every situation is different, so therefore don't put me in a box.
No, be yourself.
You know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
don't box me, because
a girl who has 3 bodies could be more of a hoe than someone who has 7 because of how she carries herself and the type of niggas she is even, in, you know, having sexual relations with.
And even the term hoe, like, it needs to be embraced more. Like, I hate to say it, but, like, even when we say hoe, it's kind of like, what do you mean hoe? Like, what kind of hoe? Be specific. Be specific.
Right, was your mama hoe?
Right.
Is your mama hoe?
What does your daddy say about your mama? Let me know that.
Are they together? Answer me that.
I agree with that. I have to say, all in all, like, when it comes down to the whole, like, pick me culture, I moved to the beat of my own drum and to the beat of my own rules. We talked about, like, you briefly said that, like, you're all about the sexual health and, like, how is everything going with you. I don't believe in double standards, and I don't believe in the male gaze. And I feel like what this video did was kind of try to, at the end, in the beginning, I felt was 100% with her. At the end, I was like, oh, this is kind of getting towards that male gaze.
I was like, oh, yes. And then I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Shorty lost me. Because no one needs to know my body count.
It's 2022.
If you're a man in 2022 and you're grown, okay, and you're still asking a woman her body count, ask your mom hers.
Oh.
Thank you. Come again.
Ask your mama. Ask your mama what she used to do back in the day.
Okay, seriously, because they was having
Freaknik.
What was your mom doing at Freaknik? How did she meet your dad?
How was
Do
she
you
at
have your
Bike
mom's
Week?
last name or your dad's last name? Don't make me go into it, because
I want answers.
judge your mom, not me.
I want answers.
I'm gonna put that on a shirt. Judge your mom, not me.
Exactly. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Judge your mama. And, like, one other thing I have to say about the male gaze, too. When it comes down to it, I feel like in 2022, women are doing things for themselves. These long-ass lashes that you see on females, we know that y'all don't give a fuck. We do that because we like it.
I am gonna say the long is just it be killing my vibe. Some of y'all look like you're gonna fly away. Like, it's just giving tacky. But that's just my personal opinion. Do what you please.
I'm not mad at it. But I'll say, like, women are doing more shit for them. Like, so the idea that we would be trying to keep our body count low, I actually just said this to my mom recently, because me and my mom getting real crazy conversations.
Me and my mom get deep.
Do ya?
Okay? My mom be like, I'll be like, Mom, like, yeah, you know, I've been seeing this guy, and, you know, we slept together. She's like, was it good?
I'm done.
Oh,
I'm done.
yeah, it was. Or it was terrible. I'm never calling him again.
That's that best friend mom
my mom
shit.
is
Like,
my
I'm
best
with
friend.
it.
Yeah,
Yes,
we keep it a
yes.
stack with each other, and we don't get too, like, crazy, but, like,
No,
Some
it's
of the-
respectful, but it's honest.
some of the talks we have, girl, she be like, you don't want to drink off me today.
I'm done. Now, okay.
And I'll be like, respect. I appreciate you telling me that.
Thank you for the heads up. No, I said to my mom, I said, you know, back in the day, people had to worry about stuff like that. People had to worry about how many men they slept
Right.
with, or women were scared to have multiple baby daddies. Like, it was like, oh my gosh, it's in a row to have multiple baby daddies. And what it basically built the world around was like, stay with this one man who could be dogging you out.
But because you don't want more bodies, stay with this man that's giving you the bare minimum or mediocre. And I will never.
I will not. I will tell you this much, baby. If you fuck up, you will be replaced by the end of the week.
Not the end of the week, the end of the day. Ask my best
End
friends.
of
My
the
best
day.
friends know. By the end of the day, you could be gone.
By the end of the day. See?
Bye.
See, the turnarounds are quicker these days.
Ain't nobody got time.
I'm not working shit on.
What
I'm
that
not
mean
staying for
say?
something. What?
I don't need to heal. I'm not Wolverine.
I'm done. I didn't even see that.
Okay.
Are you serious?
Yes. People was like, I need to heal. I mean, I'm not making it a joke out of healing and stuff, but like,
But no,
if
yeah.
a man is, you're dissatisfied and he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, XYZ, and
Exactly.
you know, you see a red flag or whatever makes you not want to date him no more, bye. I will go on a date with another nigga the same day because
Yes.
I can, and I do that. I literally am living the life of a
Hey.
bachelorette. I feel
Okay,
like.
look, we going from cheers to high fives. I fuck with this. Okay.
Because, I mean, my friends know, especially if you're my close friends, I'm very, like, honest and open about me going on dates with men. Like, I'm not saying I'm sleeping with every man, but I went to dinner with this man. I went to lunch with this one earlier, and then tomorrow I might go with someone else.
And
I
if
am
you were sleeping with them, that's perfectly fine. Live
that
your
too.
life.
I'm not, but
I was like,
you know. But I feel like that's what dating is. People are getting confused in our generation, I think, with what dating is too.
yeah, no,
Like,
no,
dating is
100%.
like, back in the day, it was like you're being courted by multiple men and the best man wins. So, you know, buckle up. Get ready for the game.
Get ready for the
If
duel.
you want to win, then do what needs to be done and you won't get replaced.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Period.
So I do have a question for you.
Okay.
Because I feel like we got into another little subject there. So you've done 2 dates in one day.
Yes.
All right, how was that?
It was actually fun.
Okay.
I think it's so exciting getting to know people, especially like you're weeding out your type and what you do want and what you don't want.
Okay.
So like going to lunch with one guy and it's like, oh, like it was great conversation, but maybe he checked his phone too much, or, you know, he didn't talk that much, or, you know, and then dinner, it's like I got to be with this guy who, wow, he checks every box almost. Maybe he's not the height that I want him to be,
Not the height.
which has happened to me. But you know, it was
I can't
cool.
do
So it's
shit.
like I feel like you're learning yourself as you date too.
Yeah.
Why would you settle down and just go with the first person that you're going on dates with whenever it's supposed to be about weeding out and finding your person? So like you can't just settle with the first person that's willing to give you what you want.
I agree. And Kayla is dropping gems for you.
Okay.
She's dropping gems for
I'm
you.
just saying.
Because you should date multiple at a time if you can. Like if you have that capacity where you're like, you want to date with me, I want to date with you. I'm gonna go on multiple dates. I'm gonna tell you why I said if you can, because I did 2 dates in one day one time.
Okay.
And so like when I say if you can, it's not like shady. I'm saying it like because I did it and my ass was dumb about it. I remember back in the day I was like 23. I picked the same area to have both the dates.
Oh, Lord.
Ended the one, had to run around, try to act like nothing happened, and then go to the other. It was very tiring. It was draining.
So we don't do that here.
Yeah, I should have. You made it make more sense. You said lunch and dinner. I think I did
Yeah.
happy hour and dinner.
Ooh, that's where you went wrong. Right there, ladies, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't be me. Look, we gotta help me find him for a reason. Y'all gonna fucking help me. All right.
And I feel like a respectable man though, and a man that knows what he wants. Like if it's a nigga that's like playing the field and giving you what you want to hear, but really I just want to hit. I don't know if I'm gonna settle down. I'm playing the field. They're not really gonna be okay with it. The niggas that's gonna be okay with it are the ones that are like, yeah, you know, I can understand that. Like you're trying to figure out if I am the one for you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Because it's
saying?
about longevity. Like if I'm gonna sit down
longevity,
with you, I
connection,
need to know.
vibes.
Right.
Is it all organic? Because if it feels forced just because on paper we're 2 good people, it's not going to work. I went on dates and actually briefly dated someone last fall. I ain't going to say no name. That everything seemed perfect. Like on paper, he's in the legal field like me. You know, it all seemed great. Great salary. Tall, dark, handsome. You know, it just still was not enough for me.
That's a good point. You
Most
bring up.
women would have just jumped at it. A lot of my friends are like, oh, you're crazy. You should just stay with him and, you know, like, settle
No,
down.
you
He
don't
wants to
stay
give
where
you
you're
the
not
world.
happy.
Yeah, you know, and it just, I feel like for me, he's more of a friend. Like, it just didn't ever give me that spark.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you won't have to come back for another episode because I got a lot about paper. I feel like I meet a lot of men that are good on paper, and you talk to them and you date them, and you're like
dry
or they're not like that. Paper is nothing. Like they're
Yeah.
wild, they're batshit crazy, like they're
Yes.
fucking ridiculous.
narcissist.
They're narcissists. Okay, because you're like amazing. You have this amazing job. You have a nice car. You have your own house. You got your shit together. You do shit for the community. And then I get you in a room and you are just a disrespectful piece of shit who just wants to only fuck and then also wants to act like you want to belittle my opinion.
Don't get me started. Listen, that's the last one I'm gonna share. But I briefly went on a few dates that a friend set me up with this man of another culture. I'd say he's black, but he's not. You know, he's not black. He's,
Okay, the Latino.
No,
Oh, okay. I don't want to.
African.
Oh, okay.
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 So I feel like it's different. I don't judge, and I'm black.
It's
I'm not
definitely
racist.
different cultures.
You know, it's different dating an African man than an American black man, and
Yeah.
I like nickels. So it just wasn't enough for me. Like the connection wasn't there. But on paper, good job, makes 6 figures, has a nice ass house.
Okay. See, I dated an African guy too before.
Did you like it?
I enjoyed it. He's actually I enjoyed it a lot. He fucked up And let him tell it, he would say he didn't fuck up. But we actually had a great connection. Like,
Really?
everything was amazing.
See, mine was like, it's the broken English for me. It's such a turn
Oh,
off.
see,
like,
it wasn't.
Baby, come here, baby. Okay,
Kayla.
I'm sorry. I need to hear, like, a nigga talk to me, okay? Not.
So you want somebody to be like, hey, bitch, take them panties off. I ain't fucking playing with you.
Not bitch, take them panties off, but, like, you know, like, I don't know. I just need, like, a. Like
Now,
a,
see, I
a
don't mind it
man.
because I honestly, but I'm also very like, I'm when it comes to like dating and stuff, I'm very like into trying different things.
Oh,
so
I was trying. I thought I was. After
Yeah.
that experience, never again.
But I enjoyed.
He
You
was a
didn't enjoy
narcissist.
it. Oh, okay.
That's what I was getting
Okay.
at. He was kind of narcissistic, and he was like trying to track my period, like because
What the fuck?
Yes. Have you ever had a man try to track y'all period? Because I haven't. But like we went on a few dates, we're kicking it, whatever. We never had sex, and he wanted me to go on the trip to another place with him. I'm not gonna say.
Okay.
We go on vacation with him somewhere, and you know it's all, oh yeah, we're gonna go. I'm gonna pay for everything. You don't gotta worry about nothing. Like I just want to go have fun with my friends.
Okay.
Blah blah blah. We're gonna meet up with a bunch of my friends.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. So it gets closer to the week of the vacation, and he didn't buy my flight yet, but he's like, you know, like, oh well, if you're still on your period, do you think that it's best that you go? Like, you know, maybe we should just wait till you feel better. Is
So
a
you
period
feel
a
better?
sickness?
Are you sick?
I said, is a period being sick? Because, like,
Just
people
because you
still
can't
do
touch it
things.
doesn't mean it's
Yes,
broke.
people still do things on their period. I would never base a trip based around my period. But
Bitches do a lot of shit on
he
their
was
period.
just, like, coming off too, like, pressed for pussy. And I was just like, yeah, I'm going to ghost. Like, you are not going to hear from me again. I don't care if you, on paper, are great. And, you know, I just can't do it.
Yeah, no. I agree. I 100% agree. I have to say, at the end of the day, that's why the body count thing kind of bothers me. Because at the end of the day, some of you niggas got to go.
Ooh.
And maybe I didn't notice that in the beginning, but when I noticed it, you got to
Yes.
go.
They will lay it down. Great dick.
And you still got to go.
And then weeks later, you find out he ain't shit. So what do you gotta go? What? I'm gonna keep fucking ain't shit, nigga.
I can't do it. This is
I
not
mean,
the
I
ages that your
have,
mama grew up in.
because of the, you know,
The dickmatized.
yeah, being dickmatized for sure.
I've
I'm
been
good
there.
for that.
I've been
I'm
there.
good for that.
Okay,
I'm good for that.
I'm not
Don't lay
mad
it
at
down
that.
on me, because now I love you. I want to cook you dinner. Where you going, babe?
And you could
We
cook.
go
We're
together.
gonna get into that.
We
You
go
could
together.
cook.
We go together. Where you going? Real bad. Real bad.
We go together real bad. Okay, Carisha. Carisha, please.
For real. That's how it be.
No, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, like, you should take your time to get to know somebody because sex can discombobulate shit. I do agree with that. I don't want that to be taken out of context.
Yeah, for sure.
Take your time and get to know these men and see if they're right for you. But if you do, for some reason, decide to give in or give a
Because you
little
want
pussy
to.
because you felt like giving the pussy up, because you can make that choice. Don't feel like you have to worry about body count and shit like that. That's none of your business unless you make it your business or if he makes it his business. But if he's worried about your body count, he probably needs to go talk to his mom or go talk to a therapist because you're worried about the wrong things.
Yeah.
As I said, you're thinking small. You need to be thinking big, bitch. Think bigger, bitch.
Facts.
So no, thank you for joining us about our TikTok review. As you always know, actually you may not know this, so let me slow it down. With a guest, we get to watch their video. So we're going to talk about her viral video in a second when we come back. But also, after that, we're going to do a story time. And the story times are always juicy. It's
We love a
always the
story
favorite part.
time.
So you know you're going to want to
None of you niggas is
continue
safe.
to wait. No. If you didn't know, none of you are safe. This might be your 13th reason why.
Ooh. Lord Jesus.
We'll see y'all in a minute, though. Hey, y'all. So we are back. As I mentioned, I have a special guest with me today. And this is not to be taken lightly. This is bomb_Blasian. 2 N's, okay? We are not playing.
She said Big B.
Big B.
Not the
2
little
B's.
one. Not the
Double
little
B.
Not
Don't
the little
play. Listen, Kayla, she does her thing on TikTok. I mentioned briefly in the beginning, you know, she had a viral video. But a couple of things I have to give you your flowers because this is your moment. This is where we talk about your video. You hop on all the right trends. You have used all the right sounds. Your content is really in depth on like how I feel like women can relate to it. Like you talk about dating. I told you I love some of your dating ones and you know, yeah, that didn't work out. Like I love those ones. And I think you're just very transparent in your own way. Cause like we've also mentioned, like I've known you since middle school. So I know that's like your way that you're kind of just showing people like, this is my life. And I think what probably blew up the most, and you correct me if I'm wrong, is when you show people your 4 different lives, correct?
Right.
And your 4 different lives, I will tell them, but then I'm going to ask Kayla a couple questions. So Kayla had a video that got, I believe it was a 1.6 or
1.8.
1.8. I'm sorry. Thank you. 1.8 million views talking about her 4 different lives because Kayla is a boss bitch.
Ooh, okay.
Just like it's Blonde Blasian, BB, boss bitch,
Okay.
BB.
She said it, not me.
Kayla does a lot though. Like you are currently an investigator and also studying for your LSATs.
Mm-hmm.
And then you are also a volleyball coach,
Right.
private chef, and then a bottle girl.
Yep.
So Kayla wears many, many hats. I have to respect that. I literally feel that on a deep level because I know what it's like to wear many hats. And it's hard for people to understand, especially with so many complex different fields that you work in. Right. It's like one field you're coming in and you're like, hi, how are you today? And the next you're coming in like, hey!
Swear to God.
But you make it do what it do. So Kayla, tell me first, let's like start easy into it. What was it like going viral? Like, how did you feel when you started to notice your video got traction?
So my cousin, Jalea, actually, she is very big on TikTok. She has a huge following. Like, she's beyond me. Go follow her too, Jalea Monet on TikTok. She encouraged me. She's like, make TikToks. You know, people would be so inspired and be like interested in your different lives. You do so much because she's one of my best friends. And I'm like, okay. So one day I literally happened to be like sitting in her house in Columbus, and I put this TikTok together because it was a trend hopping on, like people showing that they're multiple lives.
Right.
And I did it, and overnight, like I woke up, I had to turn my notifications off. I was like, what?
It's overwhelming.
Like it just kept going. It just kept going, and my cousin's like, I told you, I told you, why you wait so long? You could have been getting paid. And I'm like, dang.
She's like, welcome to death row.
Swear she was. She's like, yeah, you're a TikTok creator now. So it was exciting. It was also a little bit nerve-wracking, and it made me anxious and nervous about it just because of my other jobs and them now knowing all of my jobs. Because I'm going to be very transparent and honest. This season, I'm not coaching volleyball. I'm not coaching a high school team. That video that went viral was seen by some of the parents that, were on my team at the high school that I did coach at. And they complained to the school board. I feel like I was a great coach last season, don't get me wrong, but some parents were mad that I had cuts. I cut people. I didn't let people play. I played my best players. That's how it was taught. I played college volleyball. Like, I'm here to win.
Yeah.
And my athletic director was on board. He loved me. He wanted me to come back. He said it was the school board that, this bottle service job is just...
That was the one.
That was the one.
That was the one.
And for me, I told them in my interview up front, I make more here in a night than I make in a season in volleyball. So
Oh yeah.
Take that with what you will. I'm not leaving that job. So hire me at your discretion. It was always just don't tell the kids or promote it to the kids, which I never did.
You should be able to have multiple.
Yeah. So that was probably the only part. As far as my office job as an investigator, no one at my job cared. They're all legal jobs. I can do freely whatever I choose to. My office is very accepting. They're sweet, kind, genuine people. I love them. I love all my coworkers. If you don't know, I'm in the public defender's office of Allegheny County.
Okay.
And we, in my opinion, have one of the best public defender's offices in the nation because we genuinely do care about the client. And, they make work enjoyable for me. I literally love my job. I'm not going to speak that much on it because I am my own person and being, and I don't want to say right now that I'm representing my office. Of course, but that is one of my jobs, and I love that job. And they, are here for it. They love my shenanigans. I come and work and tell them about my dating life. So there's that.
So before I get more into some of the stuff you mentioned a lot. I had to fix my necklace while we was talking to because it kept twisting around. But you mentioned a lot that I actually want to take from. But one of the things I want to ask you, have you ever seen For the People? It was an ABC show. It was a Shonda Rhimes show, actually.
I feel like I started, yes. I think I started it, but I didn't finish it.
It's about these, basically these younger attorneys work for public defenders, and then the other one works for the DA. Oh. So it's one is public defenders, one is the DA, but they also collaborate a lot. But For the People, it's basically talking about how the public defenders kind of really work heavy and how the DA also works against, but they kind of work together and how they really were intersected to try to make things work out. Pretty interesting show. I just had to segue that because it's a good show. But I want to dive into that part that you mentioned about your job because I'm not going to lie. I went viral as well, as you know, or we wouldn't be sitting here on this show. Help me find him. And at the time, I was transitioning jobs. And my biggest fear was that my new job, somebody would notice, that's that girl from TikTok.
Yes.
Especially because you don't know who's on what platform.
Mm-hmm. And everyone has TikTok now.
Exactly.
I mean, all my coworkers have TikTok. I've actually parked in my parking garage before, and a girl came up to me like, "Oh my God, you're that girl from TikTok," and I'm like, "How in the hell? Like, I'm not no celebrity in Pittsburgh or anything like that. I'm a very humble and genuine person, so like." I was just like, what TikTok?
Where the hell this come from?
I was like, what TikTok did you see? And she was like, the 4 jobs. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, you inspired me. Da, da, da. But she was real sweet.
Because it was inspirational. It shouldn't be taken as anything less. I have to say, like, your volleyball team, unfortunately, parents sometimes can be...
Parents are like that, so...
But they missed out.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what you were doing is very inspirational for young girls.
Yeah.
To tell them that they can do multiple things, wear multiple hats, and kill it in every area. So.
That was my point. Like, I'm not going to box myself into one thing. I love doing a million things. I want to start a seasoning line. I want to open restaurants someday. Like, I love cooking. I love coaching. I want to be a mom. I want to be a wife.
Kayla bring some food.
I should have brought food. That should have been a segment. Like, I bring some food. We'll do that next season.
It will be season 2. Season 2, Kayla's going to bring me food.
Yes. I'll bring some food and we'll taste it. I'm going to make some oxtail or something.
Ooh, I would love that.
Got the best oxtail in the city, but...
Oh, okay. Look, now I'm going to put that on my list because, I would need to try. I can barely cook. Like, that's a lot. Because just in case the man that I'm dating is watching that, I can cook.
She can cook, bae.
I can cook, bae. I could cook, okay? But I'm always willing to learn a couple lessons. But speaking about baes, since we got on the subject of baes, so how did that affect your dating life, like in general? Like, not even before the video came out, but just having all those different hats that you wear, how was that, balancing that and dating?
So, I would say it's still easy. I mean, I don't know how. So many of my close friends be like, how do you live? Like, you literally are going off the wall. Like, you're constantly doing something. I just, as a Virgo, I like having multiple hats, and I just can't stop. I didn't know you were a Virgo. I cannot stop.
I'm a Virgo.
Really?
Yeah.
Shut up. Yes, Virgos, like, I love getting money. I'm not going to lie. I'm a hustling ass bitch. My mom raised me to have multiple jobs, not to depend on no man. So I'm going to get it however I have to get it, legally. Beyonce
was a Virgo. Is a Virgo. Michael Jackson was a Virgo.
Too.
Like,
everybody great is a Virgo.
Thank you.
Beyonce's work ethic shows, like, that's a Virgo. That's me.
How we
like,
do.
Literally, that's how I move. But, no, as far as, like, dating, I feel like as of lately, it hasn't really affected it. Guys do be like, oh, you're, like, super busy. And I'm like, okay, either you can get with it or you, like, I'm not going to, stop any of my jobs for you. That's my life. Get with it. You should want a woman that wants to get her own. No offense to the women that are stay-at-home wives, moms, whatever. That's just not me. Exactly, I want my own money. I want to hustle. I want a career. And I think that video is what encouraged me, because for a long time I put my true goals aside because I was just like, can I do all of them at once, or do I have time because my maternal clock is ticking? People say, reaching 30 soon, like no kids, no husband. So I put law school off. I wasn't sure. I was like, if I go to law school, that's 3 years, like by then I'm gonna be in my 30s. Like, do I want to? I want to be a mom. And this year, it just showed me. It was a lot of the encouraging messages in that TikTok that went viral too, that said like, like, I love this, like I want to do this, blah blah blah. And that's what made me, like, sign up for the LSAT. And shout out to one of my close friends, Tashana. She's an attorney. Well, she was an attorney in my public defender's office, but she moved to another county. She was on my ass. Like, take the LSAT. You need to start studying. What do you want? Like, I'll help you. I'll find books that you need to get to start studying for it. But, like, you need to get on it. We need more black women attorneys in this world. Yeah. And I was like, she's right. Her as well as Taylor, she's an attorney in my office as well. Taylor Korn. If she's your attorney, she gonna clear that shit.
Hey, all right, shout out.
But yeah, those are two of my good friends that are attorneys in the field, and they encouraged me to. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. So I signed up for the LSAT. I've been studying once a week. My director of my entire office studies with me once a week for an hour. Wow. I know. I'm like, wow. People are like, no one can really say that. Like, they studied with a director.
Like, they're investing in you.
You know, he believes in me. He encourages me. He's a great tutor, a great person to learn from, you know. So I take it in September, and the day before my birthday, that is, too, which is...
Did you find out before your birthday if you passed?
So I'll take it on the 9th. My birthday's the 10th. I'm going to Cleveland with my friends.
Hey, I love Cleveland. Hey, you should hit me up. Let me know. I got a couple of good places.
Oh, okay. I need that. And then my results for my exam score will be the end of September. So,
Okay.
We'll go from there.
That's huge. That's huge. I love women that do multiple things. And like you said, no disrespect to women who do, hold their family down or just rather be like stay at home. I respect that as well. But I really, really have a level of respect for women who do multiple things. It's because I feel like I vibe with it. It could be a Virgo thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely always been
I never want a man to think I need him or
Right.
for him to think he can control what I do have.
Exactly.
I was in a past relationship before with someone that we had gone to college together, and then he went to the NFL, whatever. He had made it to the point where he wanted me to be accessible to his schedule, so it was like, don't work, do this XYZ. Like I literally had text messages from this man saying like, literally expressing like sadness that I was going to a job interview.
Wow.
Like I'm like, it's not gonna get in the way. Like I told him that I'm going out of town often to see my boyfriend, whatever.
Yeah.
And he just was not with it. But then when we broke up, what did I have? Nothing. I had nothing. Like I came back to Pittsburgh, literally had
You have you.
just me and my car and my dog that he left me with. That was his dog.
Wow.
And I just had to like pick up the pieces, and that's why I was like, I will never let myself get to this again. I will never fully depend on a man and expect them to hold their word, which there probably are men that will, but like I just tell you my husband, I'm not believing shit you say.
I'm with that. I have to say, because you brought up a good point. So it was kind of hard for him to see you going on and living your own life and creating your own life. So what is that like for you? Because you're what I would consider an alpha female. So you're an alpha female. And it's not a lot of people think alpha female means you're dominant. You walk in the rooms and you're like, but you're not. Dominant females or alpha females are women who are able to just kind of handle shit. You handle your shit. You don't really need anybody, and you handle it well.
Yes.
So when a man sees that you have your own thing going on, you have 4 different things going on. How do they react to that? Like, has that ever interrupted your dating life?
No, for me, I've never come across a man that it bothered him. Most guys embrace it and they love it. They're like, I love a hustler. I love a woman that's getting her own. But it does bring along those niggas that think it's a meal ticket. Okay? Because I've even talked to some of my close... a leech, okay? I talked to some of my close friends about this, just like, with me going to law school next year and coming out of law school at I'll be 31. Okay. 31, 32. I am literally scared to date because now when men know that like, oh, you're studying for the LSAT, you're going to law school, you're going to be making money, right there.
Like, are you looking at me as the breadwinner?
I'm the breadwinner. I'm the meal ticket. Like,
right.
I don't like that. And I definitely don't like men who are like, oh, I'm going to keep you around. I might need me a lawyer. Like, I would hope
you need
not.
a lawyer for?
What do you need a lawyer for? I love me a street nigga, but I'm going to need you to be not fully street, okay? Like, we can't be catching cases. I don't have time for that.
Don't mess up my career.
Don't mess up
my career.
Like,
everything I work for. You're not Angela.
I'm not Angela Valdez. And niggas love calling me that. They be like, Angela Valdez. I am not Angela Valdez. Never will be, okay?
I'm fucking weak. So I have one more question for you after talking about everything. So first off, I hope you guys go and check out Kayla's TikTok. Because like I mentioned, I really love her TikTok account. I'm just obsessed with it. I'm going to speak from personal shit real quick. So I personally, I'm also in school, but I struggle sometimes with figuring out my schedule. And sometimes it's easier for me to just be like, I just kind of want to find that like home with one person who just gets it. And I just kind of roll with it. I'm like, you know what? You are the person that gets it, and I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to rock with it, and I like you, and I like her company, and I'm going to move with it. But how is dating? Like, because dating takes a lot of time out of your schedule. How is dating going with all of your multiple hats?
Right now, dating is... I feel like dating is not very hard for me, but it's almost somewhat hard, but it's not because of my schedule. I think it's the men that I am going on dates with. Like, okay, I am a physical... My top love languages is physical touch, quality time.
Same.
Words of affirmation, and then, like, maybe acts, the personal acts ones.
Yeah, acts
and
of
then,
service.
Like, my lowest one is, like, gifts. Like, I do not give a fuck about a gift.
That's my lowest one.
I'm not going to say I don't want a gift because I like a Louis bag.
Drop.
But, like, that's just not proving you love me. Like, I literally just need to spend time with you. So, like, I'm OCD about spending time. And I feel like I've been encountering a lot of men who are like, oh, well, I have to do this, that, and the other. I'll see you tomorrow, this, that, and the other. I'm not used to that. Okay. Once we go together. I want to live in your skin. Like, I want to be with you every day.
We go together real bad.
Real bad. Like, a man that dates me would never have to wonder if I'm cheating on him or entertaining another man because, baby, I'm going to be up your ass. And I tell guys that up front on dates. Like, I am very much, like, deeply invested in love. When I like someone and we click, boom.
Yeah.
And I think you could potentially be the one for me, then I'm, like, fully invested. I'm not going to put, you know, my eggs in other baskets. All my friends say that, oh, put your eggs in other baskets. Don't put them all in one. But I'm a sucker and a simp for putting them all in the same basket.
I'm here for that.
I want to be married. I want a ring. I want kids.
Are you going to invite me to the wedding?
Yes.
Okay.
You know?
I love the wedding. I want to be married too. I'm going to invite you to my wedding. I predict by 30 to 31 I'm going to get engaged.
30 to 31.
And I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
What age are we at right now?
I'll be 21 in a week.
21?
But this week, actually.
21.
No, I said 21, 29. That's this wine.
I said this bitch is lying to y'all.
This is a fucking wine. 21? I said, I looked at you straight face. This is
21.
I'll be 21.
Girl, what?
That's how fucking, listen, this wine is fucking me up. But I'll be 29 this week. But I'd rather be in the early 20s.
Yep. Okay. So you think 30, 31?
I just have a feeling, I've been speaking it into existence, that 30 to 31 is going to be the age where I'm going to meet the one. Because I feel like I've been through so much shit.
Oh, you'll at least meet them. Okay.
Or, I think I'll get proposed
or already
to.
have met. Oh.
I think I'm going to have a ring on my finger by 30 or 31. Because I feel like I've seen so much shit and I'm quick with it. Like, we talked about it earlier, like, we're not messing around. I'm quick turn around.
Oh my God, that's me. No, my friends, like, it's like an insider lately with all my best friends, because they be like, oh, you know, first off, we call men nicknames. Like, if I met a guy at, you know, 12, or I met a guy at Chase Bank, they gonna call him Chase Bank. How's Chase Bank?
I'm weak. Okay, Chase.
Chase. And it'll be a week later. My friends are like, you know, well, the first week I'm like, oh my God, y'all, I love him. Like, that's my husband. My friends know I am quick to drop the H word. My coworkers too. They be like, okay, we need you to not call him your husband, because we know how that what happens when you do that. So I be like, he my husband, y'all. Like, I think we really going. This might be the one. Week later, I come into work, or I'm talking to my best friends. So how's Mr. Chase Bank? I'm like, girl, I can't stand his ass. He's cut.
He's cut, girl.
He's
That's
cut
me.
off.
That's me all day.
Cause I'm a simp. Like, I really do. But then, like,
but you know,
I'm also know what I want. So like, if you do one thing I don't like, cut.
That part. That's what it is. The older you get,
time.
the more you know what you want. And I think that's what's really important. Sometimes, and you might be able to agree with this because of your video, women, I feel like we can really gear our work ethic and our work life. We could tell you exactly what the fuck we want out of our work life. I do this, I do that, I do that, I touch this, I touch that, and I'm doing it fucking well. But dating sometimes can be that one thing that can kind of knock us off our chair. And that's the thing that is kind of like, once you realize what you need in dating, you've broke the level.
True. And I think that comes with maturity, because I would say I didn't get to that until like maybe last year.
Yeah.
I've just got out of a relationship a year and a half ago, maybe longer. I'm not really sure. It was my last serious relationship, but that time I had since then, just I grew as a person. Like, yes, I had a hot girl summer last year.
Hey,
I was like, it's fuck these niggas.
the
I
knees.
don't care. Don't care about none of y'all. I'm walking all y'all like a dog. There were so many men that like I was going on dates with, and like they'd be like, "Oh my God, so what are we?" And I'd be like, "We're friends. We're friends. Ain't shit else. I'm having fun right now." But like now I'm like knowing what I want, so I'm back to like dating and courting, you know, and letting a man take me to dinner and whatever. But you know, I think that came with maturity. I wasn't sure, but now I know, like, one red flag gone.
I love that.
Ain't got time for him. One red flag. I can't even think about the last red flag a guy gave me, but it was one of them, and I was just like, we don't like him no more.
We don't want him no more.
Deleted number. Oh no, I was seeing someone who was like literally so sweet and so kind.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say who this is, but he was
Please
sweet and
please
kind.
Don't.
He was sweet and kind, and like he definitely gives, like, potentially could be a great husband, but he's just not there yet in life.
Okay.
And
I had one of those recently.
you know, like, he just feels like I feel like as Virgos we're attracted to people who need healed and are very broken. And he
That's
gave me,
wild. You're
he
right.
gave me
You're
broken.
right.
He gave me very much broken and just
Needing guidance.
needy,
probably.
like want to see me all the time, which fucked me up, because I was like, that's me. Normally I want to be, you know, up your ass, see you all the time, but coming from a male, it turned me off. I was like,
It's different, because then you feel an obligation, especially if you've been through some shit and you've already tried to help heal somebody. You feel an obligation to have to do it again. And when you're working on yourself and you're working on making sure you're where you need to be, you don't have time to meet that person where they're at or build them up anymore. Not that we can't help build up men, like, or we're against it. I think the biggest thing is when you're a woman at our age and you're doing the things that we're doing, you want to make sure that somebody who you're meeting and mixing and mingling with is at that same level, and that you're not having to bring them to your level. It's not fair to you.
And that's what it felt like with this person. They just weren't there yet. Like, you know, one day he might be, but it's just, for me, I had to, like, kind of go ghost and slide out.
I get it. Oh, not the ghost thing.
I can't even remember what his nickname was. Yeah, no, I can't say it because it's going to give away.
I'm done.
So.
Well, I have to say, to wrap us up, your viral TikTok was the shit. I think what you did, a lot of women could be like, yo, I want to do that. And I think it even taught us a lot about you, because even myself, like, knowing you since, like, middle school, as I mentioned, like, I didn't know all that about you. Like, I didn't know you were doing that many things. I seen you in a bottle girl robe. I didn't know you was in law school. And that shit's deep.
Well, not yet, but
you damn near Kim K out here, but you better.
Man, I'm trying to be,
you better. I think Kim K's shit too, but you know, it's always different when a black woman's handling her business. I will say that. That part. But you're doing a damn thing, and I'm really happy for you, and I'm glad that you were able to come on the show and kick it with me and talk about all the shit that you're doing.
Yes, I want to come back. I can't wait to come back.
Season 2.
Listen, season 2. Make me just a
help me find him. That's right.
Help me find him. I'm trying to find my husband too.
Okay, that's what we're here for. We are here, as I always say, we are not here to give you advice. We are just here to tell you that we've been there and we understand what you're going through. But to continue on knowing what you've been through and telling you that we've been there, we're going to come back with story time, all right? So stay tuned, and we're going to come back with story time. Ooh. We're going to really unleash our souls on that one, okay?
Ooh.
They say they don't fuck with me, but I say they can't fuck with me. Shout out to Glorilla, FNF. That's kind of what the flow has been on this episode, I will say. I feel like sometimes people think Help Me Find Him podcast is a podcast where we bash men. And I don't like that. I don't want you to think that. I want you to think that this is where we talk about the men who need to be bashed. There's a couple of y'all out there that need...
A lot of y'all. Not a couple.
You're right. There's a lot. You're right. A lot. There's a lot of y'all that need a wake-up call as to what women want and need, and how we see y'all and how we see what you're doing and how y'all just move and we don't like it. And if this is a podcast that lets you know that, then so fucking be it.
Whoop.
So fucking be it.
That part.
But needless to say, we are at my favorite part, and hopefully this will become your favorite part, story time. Now, story time, as you know, we always kind of just bare our souls, and we usually go off of the TikTok review. We're going to put a little spin on it today. So our TikTok review earlier today, we talked about the girl who kind of talked about how you should limit your body count, really work on talking to someone and really getting to know them. And as we mentioned in that, we agree 100% on the getting to know somebody. Exactly. First half, getting to know somebody. I need to take my time to get to know you, because you never know when the red flags are going to pop out. But the second part, we had different opinions.
Very much so.
Very much so. So, you know, with story time, we like to stay in sync with that. So I'm going to kick us off by telling a story about a time that, what I will honestly say is I don't know if I got a chance to think about whether or not I wanted to sleep with the guy, because the red flag popped up so quick.
Ooh.
It popped up like on the first chill. But I feel like that was good enough, because it was like at that moment I knew it right then and there that this was it. This was it, and this is where I was going to go. So I'm going to bring you guys into my story time. So I one time decided to hang out with a guy who had been in my DMs. We have mutual friends, and so I was just like, okay, cool. Like, we have mutual friends, mutual very close friends, as in my co-host. Not you, but me. Typically Drea. So I figured, you know, why not? Let's kick it. We'll talk. Like, I trust anybody. Like, you know, Drea around people, that's cool peoples. I'll get to know you. So I went out and had a couple drinks with this male, and during the, you know, date, I guess you would say, the drinks, he expressed to me, you know, just multiple things about where he was at in life. Like, you know, obviously, like, when you're on your first date, you talk about different things, and that's kind of how you, I'm sure you agree with me, Kayla, like, that's kind of how you build to get to know somebody.
True.
But I feel like I got to know him too much.
Too much.
So on this first date, I learned that, basically, he had about 3 kids, I believe. 2 of which were ghetto twins. And if you're not familiar with what ghetto twins means, I will break that down for you. Ghetto twins are when you have 2 kids who are the same age. However, they are 2 different mothers. Okay. So that means that you were shooting up the club at the same time.
and every bitch.
Yeah, you shot up the club at 1:30 a.m. and then shot it up again at 2 a.m. And voila, you got ghetto twins. So he told me how he had ghetto twins, and then he also told me how he had a very older child. And that older child, he was telling me the relationship with that and that baby mom. Then he went on to tell me about the relationship with the ghetto twins who were actually way younger in age. And I'm just listening. Because first off, like, I don't want it to seem like I'm mightier than thou, but 3 kids is a bit much for me.
3 kids is a lot.
Given the situation.
I'm going to say side note, I'm dealing with someone with 3 kids. But
is it the situation that kind of makes you feel like...
Yeah, you got to fill out each situation. So, like, you know, I mean, he told me that on the first date. And I was like, I'm not crazy about niggas with kids. I'm not going to lie. But...
Is he actually?
We're getting to the age where, like...
Well, I want a man with kids.
Really?
I'll even segue into that. I want a man with kids. I'll tell you why. Because I personally feel like at this big age, because I'm not that much older than you, but I got, what, a year on you?
A year.
So I feel like at this big age, I got 1 kid in me. 1 kid, and I'm 1 trip to the DR.
That's all you got?
I got 1 kid in me for you. Because it's too much.
I want 4 or 5.
You want 4 or 5. You're going to be popping on 1 every year.
Popping that pussy.
I got 1. She said popping out pussy. Listen, I got 1 in me. And because of that, I want a man that has kids because I want my kid to still have family.
See, I'd be worried about if I'd be a good stepmom because, like, I love kids. I love my best friend's kids. I love my, you know, relatives' kids. But other people's kids, I'd be like...
Really? See, I love kids. Like,
I
love
do too.
kids.
But I worked in a daycare. I nanny, so it's
that's
like...
probably what it was.
You know, I don't know.
I vibe with other kids. Like, I feel like I'm very much so, like, I don't try to be overly cool with the kids. Like, I feel like I'm very, like, okay, like, you know, nice to get to know you. But at the same time, like, I love, like, kids and kind of getting, you know, to be around them. And I feel like it's not a big deal for me. And I think I like all ages.
No, these big kids be shady.
They do.
Like, my mama said not to talk to you. Like, bitch,
Treat me like the Parent Trap. But I will say, I have to be comfortable in this situation. Like, if you have kids, you have to make me feel comfortable in this situation. Don't have me walking into no situation where you have kids and you're telling me about how you're still messing with your baby's mom, or you're still...
That's the hell no.
Exactly. Or your baby's mom is crazy, or sometimes it'd be like, I told my baby's mom about you. Why did you tell your baby's mom about me? Why? Are you okay? Like, that's weird. So, for me, it's like, you got to make me comfortable with the situation. In this case, this young man, I would say, did not make me feel comfortable in this situation.
This young man.
So what I will say is, when it came to this young man, I feel like just the way that his dynamic with his baby's moms was not going to work for me. The oldest, he said they did not get along at all. And I believe this oldest was in her teen years, so that still meant that they had more years to go. And then I think he said the 2 younger ones, which were the ghetto twins, he had a very interesting...
The ghetto twins.
Girl, that threw me for a loop.
I
think that's where I learned that definition was on that date. I was like, excuse me, you have what? He's like, ghetto twins.
I'm going to start asking niggas that. You got ghetto twins?
You got ghetto twins? Twins are fine, but ghetto twins is like, oh, you messy. Because, you know, women, we can only be pregnant every 9 months, but men, y'all can do some shit.
Right.
But, yeah, so his ghetto twins, he told me he was still having relations with one of the moms, and he still had unfinished business, and he was bearing his soul.
It's giving now.
He was bearing his soul, and for me, it was one of those situations where it was like,
that shit sound heavy.
I'm hearing you. I'm listening to you. These drinks are really good. So I'm going to just keep listening.
Like, damn, for real?
That's wild.
That's crazy.
And then it got to the point where, like, I'm like a fucking goofball sometimes. And you told me as a fellow Virgo if you ever feel this way. But sometimes as a Virgo, once I get invested in hearing about your story, like, I'm invested. And even if that means, like, I might be giving you, like, mixed signals, like, you might really think I like you because of how invested I am, but deep down inside I'm just like, hold up, I want to know this story's funny as fuck and I ain't got nothing to do tonight.
Oh
so
my gosh, let me just gas him up and like, so what, like, when she did that, what did you do?
What did you do next?
So no, done that.
That's definitely what I did in this case scenario. So after the bar, after us vibing and me hearing about all the kids, the ghetto twins, and him still messing with one of the ghetto twins baby's moms, he asked me if I wanted to come back to his house, and in my mind, I knew I didn't want to fuck this man. I knew I wasn't going to fuck this man. Let me make that correct. I did not fuck this man. But it was like I was so invested that I was like, I want to know how the fuck this shit going to end. Like, I need to know what the story is going to be. So I went back to his house because he lived really close to the bar. When we got to his house, then it started to get funny because the story started to switch. So then he's like, "Oh yeah, I do got a baby mom, but you cool as fuck, and you listen. I like that. You been vibing with me, like literally your face is girl."
No.
He switched it up.
I would have got up out of there.
Girl, I did. He tried to get
fucked
into
up.
bedtime hour mode. He was like, "Yeah, you seem cool as fuck. I ain't
He's
even
trying to talk you out
hold
your drawers.
Talk me on my drawers." And it was
And nigga, it didn't work.
some of the men would argue, "Why would I go home with him?"
That
But
too true.
But I knew what the fuck I was doing. I just wanted a good story. I thought it was funny. And in all honesty, he was giving me so much good stories in the bar that I was not ready to end it at that point. And I knew myself. I said, I'm not going to go in this house and I'm not going to fuck this man. So regardless of what he thinks is about to happen. And we have mutual friends, so I didn't feel like I was in danger. Okay. So it was one of them situations. Because sometimes that could be playing defense.
Yeah, like he could have been like, you going to give me this pussy.
Yeah, it could have been very bad. But I knew me and him had way too much connected that we would see each other again. That he wasn't going to play it weird or be weird. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a good friend. But it was so funny because as he's got into the part where he started worrying about me again after he stopped talking about his stories on all his life and he started coming back to me, I was just looking at him like, oh no. And he's just like, yeah, because you know you cute and you fine and you listen and you this and you, and I was like, he thinks that I'm about to come back.
He thinks that he gonna get some pussy too.
He thinks that he's gonna get some pussy.
And he thought.
You thought you're not gonna get no pussy from me. I might continue to flirt because that's just the nature of the game. But yeah, at that point I was like, your red flags already popped up. Like everything I needed to hear or know in that moment, I found out, and so then
that
I
was a lot
done.
of red flags at once.
It was a lot on a first date.
On a first date. Whew.
On a first date, and
but they got unpacked all that on me. I'd be like,
what do you do with that? But it was like one of the things where I was like, I'm invested. I am invested in this story. But it's so funny because like the girl mentioned like, oh, during the talking stage, like you might find red flags. You could find red flags later on, or them red flags can be in your face on day one. True. And it's up to you what you want to do about it. Because you get to sign up for what you want to sign up for.
That part.
But that's my story time. Now, Kayla.
Let me think. Okay, so, what did I tell you? The one story time I have is that... Oh, okay, so me and this man who was in my DMs heavy, pressing me, I want to take you out, I want to get to know you, I might be younger than you, but, like, I'm not this typical young nigga, like, I'm looking to settle down, I want a girl, like, I've been following you for a minute. He was on my heels. So I'm like, finally one day I'm, like, responding, like, okay, what do you want, nigga? And he's like, let me take you out, so boom, we go on a date, whatever, we're kicking it. It was cool, you know, it was this past winter, and, he's coming to my apartment every day, like coming to my crib, like laid up, cuddling, watch movies, chill. This nigga at one point had the audacity to tell me, he looked me in my eyes and was like, I hope you don't get tired of me. Like,
what's that mean?
Right, trying to guilt trip me, nigga. Talking about, I just like you so much, and I could just see myself really settling down with you, and everything's just so good, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, I'm a lover girl, so, like, if we're compatible, you know, you're tall, dark, and handsome, attractive, sweet, we good. It'll be good. Like, stop saying that. Like, stop speaking negativity out there. Like, just let it flow and see what happens.
Right.
So, we never fucked. We kicked it for a couple weeks, whatever. And then he was like, oh, Valentine's Day is coming. Like, what plans you got? I'm like, nigga, you know I'm single. I don't have no Valentine's Day plans. Like, what do you mean? And he's like, all right, well, we going to spend Valentine's Day together. Like, we going to have a good time. Like, okay. I want to spoil you. Okay.
My bad, I said okay too
I'm going to take out a couple of details because people might be able to narrow it down to who he is.
I'm weak.
So, long story short, all I'm going to say is I went to his game. And after the game, you know, everything is cool, whatever. He's like, you know, like, come meet me down here at this location after the game where everybody goes after the game. So I go. Okay. And it's cool, you know. He's like, oh, thank you. Like, had a good game, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm gonna walk you out, and then, like, I'm gonna go with my teammates, and then we'll link back up, and we'll have dinner and stuff tonight, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So, long story short, from that night, never seen that nigga again. How you have me come to your game, ask me dress cute, come to your game, blah, 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 meet your peoples, whatever, a few of his peoples, and, then just ghost me. Like, literally, when I say this man was sharing his location with me, too. So you're sharing your location with me, and then you go ghost? You're lucky I'm not a crazy bitch that would show up at your house, because I'm too old and too grown for that, so I try to tell him, like, I'm too old for all that. But from that time, literally, like, he went ghost, and then the next day it was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hit you back tonight. Like, I got caught up with my teammates, blah, blah, blah. We got drunk. I passed out after the game, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give him a chance.
No.
And Sunday comes, it's, oh, my teammate and his girl are still at my house, and I don't want to just leave them here. If it's your teammate and his girl, like, you don't trust to leave them there?
Yeah, like, what's the problem? You coming up with
slide.
excuses.
Secondly, I should have known the red flag was me picking up a nigga. You don't have a car. I'm picking you up and coming and going, like...
Yeah, that actually...
I'm a very humble person, so I don't to judge a nigga for anything they have. Like, you don't have a car right now, maybe he got in a bad accident, and he, his insurance couldn't afford him to buy a new car, and he's still figuring shit out. Or maybe he's never had a car, maybe he don't come from a family like that. Whatever the case is, I try to, be understanding and receptive and just be like, okay, like, that's not the end of the world. Like, I have a car, I have a good job. It's cool. You're not about to drive my shit. No. That's for sure. Okay? Because I have a nice car. You're not about to drive my shit. But I will give you a ride if you need it. Like, I'm not going to be some green-ass bitch that's just like, no, Uber here, find a way. Or, like, if you a bum, you ain't got no car, figure it out.
That's what's up with about you. No, I would do the same thing, but I think that's really what's up at the end of the day.
Yeah, like, I'm like, that's because I'm saying, like, I feel like women be too selective and picky about some of their standards and stuff, and then you might miss out on a good nigga. So I'm not going to, he doesn't have everything all together right now, I'm gonna overlook him. I'm a person that, like, I can see your potential. I'm getting better at understanding someone's true intentions too. So then I'm like, okay, like, he really could be a good husband and stuff like that. But a lot of my best friends have said you need to stop seeing people's potential because that's what's hurting you. Like, you need to really take these niggas for what they are right now.
Yeah, because
if
they are right
they're
now,
good, then eventually you'll cross paths again. And I'd be like, no, but what if that's my husband? Like,
you are such a lover girl.
Really
you've been saying that, but I see it. I definitely see it.
And then, like, but to bring it back in, he literally was sharing his location and, like...
He stopped.
No. Still was sharing it weeks later. Haven't talked to each other. Haven't heard from him. Hasn't answered any of my calls or texts. So I'm just like... So, I'm like, good thing this was only a week or two little fling. I'm just going to go, take it for what it is and say, fuck it. But that nigga did have the audacity to swipe up on one of my stories where I was, like, speaking about the, criminal justice system or whatever. And he was like, oh, that's crazy. I'm like, LOL, yeah. Like, secondly, why do you still follow me?
I hate shit.
Why do you still follow me? I don't follow you.
I
don't follow your weird ass. Why'd you, like, you know what I'm saying?
If we haven't talked to each other in a long time, you ghosted me, you did some weird shit, and you feel the need to interact with me on social media, you weird as fuck.
Weird as fuck. Unfollow me back. Unfollow me back. So I said, like, haha, whatever. You know what this man said?
What?
LOL, don't be a stranger.
Don't be a fucking stranger.
If I could...
Not the receipts.
Let me show you the receipts because unless this man deleted them...
Not the receipts.
It's the audacity for me. Like, did I not say that's what he said?
Oh,
crazy
my goodness.
I swear, stay safe, kissy face, don't ever be no stranger. Be a stranger, nigga. You ghosted me. This is April 17th. He sent that DM.
That? Oh, okay.
I'm a sweet person,
cool.
So I played it cool.
I played it cool too, though, so I'm not mad at that.
But, like, see that February 12th is, like, hard eyes, whatever, because
And he never said, like, what came about with...
No! But then I found out from other people that allegedly he was fucking with this other girl in the city who, is a hoe. According to other people. I don't know her business, but that's just what they said.
What type of hoe? Because remember we talked about that earlier. What type of
hoe? One of those groupie bitches that only likes fucking with athletes.
Okay.
Like, that's what she's into.
Okay.
I've seen her name in some tabloids for...
Tabloids? We have pictures.
For MLB niggas. Mm-hmm. That one MLB nigga that has the wife, but, like, has multiple bitches around the country, like...
Not the one that was famous here and left. Did he leave?
No. This guy's, like, I don't know where he's from, but basically he's in the MLB, and, like, she had receipts, and she showed up, too, on the page, showing, like, when he was messing with her, and she was at his games and stuff. So I was like, dang. I mean, okay, touche, bitch, you pulling MLB niggas.
I heard their checks are the biggest. I heard them checks is the biggest.
But he was allegedly, like, that's who he was, like, balancing at the same time as me. But I still don't understand to this day because he was just at my house all the fucking time. So it was just like, and, like, we would lay up and we literally didn't have sex. He never even tried to have sex. And that was, for me, a huge green flag. I'm telling my friends, like, oh, he hasn't even tried to have sex with me. Like, he's so cool.
Well, how many months have went past without him trying to have sex?
Oh, no. I mean, this is, like, our first 2-3 weeks.
Okay, yeah,
together,
no, that's not bad.
So I was like, wow, like, this man's not trying to have sex with me, force me or anything. He's really coming over, watching movies, vibing, eating dinner with me. That's it. But long story short, I am glad I did not fuck that nigga. Because I would have fucked him and then he went ghost. Like, that's a waste of a body.
Do you feel like, now we are, like, obviously we are out of kind of the story time segment, but I have a question. Because do you feel like fucking a nigga would have made you trip heavier?
Oh, yes. I absolutely would have snapped on his ass. If I
Yeah.
had gave him my pussy, and you're not calling me back, but I got your location, you're not texting back or anything, you can't say nothing, I'll be outside your house.
I'm fucking weak.
Okay?
See,
So,
I'm
like,
a little bit different with it. Like, I feel like my thing is, I don't trip on you unless I gave you my heart. I feel, and that might be like,
I trip on disrespect.
See,
if you disrespect me, I'm going to trip.
You
I don't
know-
care if my heart's invested. You fucking played. You tried to play me.
I
And
can
you're not going
understand
to.
that. I
I'm
can
never going to allow
understand
for that. I'm not standing for that.
Yeah.
You're not going to play me.
see, I don't know, like, I do agree, I trip off of disrespect, but when it comes to sex, sometimes I'd be like, niggas do weird, act weird, do weird, show you different people to get the
They
pussy.
They do. And I just now, it's crazy to say that as a woman. I am now about to be 28, and I'm just now realizing that niggas will have a facade. They'll show you one person and act like they're XYZ, and this is what they want, this is what they're on. And then, like, you find out weeks later down the road, whatever, and you're just like, wow, this nigga was a fucking liar.
He was a clown.
Fucking-
a clown.
He was a clown.
Not a clown.
I got fooled, bamboozled. Like, I just...
Real shit. No, I agree with that. Like, I 100% stand by it. Like, I feel like when it comes down to it, like, sex, if I have sex with you and you finessed me or whatever you think you did, whatever. The real flex is if you got my heart. Because if you got my heart, now I gotta cuss you out.
everybody doesn't get your heart, yeah. But I'm gonna cuss you out either way. If you got this pussy, I'm cussing you the
I'm
fuck
not
out.
mad at it. I
Because, like,
stand.
the fuck?
I stand.
You really tried it. It'd be me, like, thinking you're really testing my intelligence and thinking I'm a dumb bitch and I'm not dumb.
Try to
You
play
thought
me.
you could play me.
You thought you could play me.
And you're not going to. So now I gotta show you my ass. Like,
But you know what I feel like the
crazy.
best payback is? I don't snap on you. You just gonna have to see this flex.
Man, that is true. All my friends are telling me I need to work on that because, like, I don't know how to just, like... Actually, I'm getting better at it, but I used to not be able to just let something go and just walk away from it. I had to, like, cuss a nigga out and you gonna feel me, and then I'm done. But my friends be like, just don't say nothing to him again. Just, like, don't text him, don't respond to him. And I be like, but no, because he gonna feel this.
React to that, though.
That is true.
You'd be
That is-
surprised how they react.
My
to it.
cousin has told me that, too. She's been like, you know, like, you just gotta, like... not react and
Gotta
just let
say,
it go.
Fuck you.
That is true.
Fuck
But listen, I'm the same bitch that's caught a flight at like 3 a.m. Like literally 3 a.m. with bitches in my DMs like, yeah, your nigga's cheating on you. He just got drafted, but he's cheating on you already. Why you coming at me? So now what do I gotta do? Buy a flight for 5 a.m. And now I'm at your front door knocking on your door like, why this bitch is DM me? Yeah, I've done pop-ups like that, and I've also drove like 9 hours in the night from West Virginia to Boston to pop up.
Not Matt Barnes. Not the female Matt Barnes.
I'm good.
Not
for a
the
pop-up.
female Matt
You know when
Barnes.
my friends called me an undergrad the pop-up queen because I'm gonna pop the fuck up. I don't care how far you are. I will
fucking
find
weak.
you.
Ain't
I'll
no mountain
find
high
you.
enough?
Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't none at all. Period. So if you watch this podcast and you plan on dating me or trying to date me, just know that yeah.
You
don't
gonna have
play
some
with
shit
me.
to deal with if you act stupid.
Yes, but
you
if you
fuck
don't
around
act
with that fuck
stupid,
around, you get fucked up.
get smoked. But no, just don't play with me. Be honest. I respect an open and honest person. My ex that I most recently dated last year, that plays here, we had like an understanding. Like, you know, when we first started out, we were friends with benefits, and then it blossomed into him one day, you know, us saying like, I love you, you love me, doing stuff for each other's birthdays, whatever, practically living together, you know. So then like it changed, but I respected him because up front he told me what it was. Like, I'm not really looking for a relationship. I don't know if I want to settle down. And I was like, okay, well, I appreciate you giving me the choice and decision to choose to still fuck with you or not.
That's
and I
what
chose
it's
to.
about.
And I chose to. And then we ended up falling in love, and he was one of my best friends. He's not no more. It's fuck that nigga.
No.
But
I understand.
I respect honesty and upfrontness. So, like, just keep it a stock of me, and then we'll be good. But you go into it saying some lies, and you're going to cause me to go left.
That part. I have to say, Kayla has done nothing but drop gems to you guys all through this episode. If you haven't learned anything from this episode with Kayla, then you were not paying attention. She has dropped many gems. And that last part you said, like, I respect you for keeping it a stack with me. But when you lie to us, you get the beast.
Yes.
And you prepare yourself for the beast, because at the end of the day, lying to me, that's on you when I'm giving you the floor to be honest.
Yep.
I have to say, Kayla, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode with you. Now I know you are a private chef, so do you want to drop any of your information?
So
Yes.
If you like, meal preps, I meal prep for people. I also sell plates sometimes. And I just love cooking for my friends and stuff all the time. They all know they can come over for a plate anytime. I'm cooking dinner, boom, they slide through. But if you want food, and good food too, because like Pittsburgh don't really have good oxtail, jerk chicken, curry chicken, I make that.
I haven't really tried it yet.
Man, Cooking with Keeks with a K, K-O-O-K-I-N, with, and then Keeks, K-E-E-K-S. It's in my bio of my Instagram, Mom Blasian, so order up, nigga.
Order up. Don't miss out. I am so appreciative of you coming on this show today. I have to say, as we always say, we talk about a lot of crazy shit on this show. We have a lot of stories. But if you have a story, you can always email helpmefindhimpodcast@gmail.com. Share the story with us. We'll be happy to share it, even if it's not on the internet. Just shoot us an email, even if you just want to show some love. But I have to say, thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Little tipsy.
Me too.
Little tipsy.
If you see some clips where I'm yawning, it was literally because like wine makes me wine drunk and like drowsy a little bit. So I'm just like over here.
I am right with you, because I feel like we unleashed and we was just talking and
Swear,
vibing.
talking shit.
Talking shit, cash shit. But that's what we do and Help Me Find Him. As I say, I am not here to give you advice. We are not here to give you advice. We're just here to let you know that we've been there and we get it. Make sure you tune into the next episode. Thank you, guys.